Okay. Cohen.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the formula is not written on this worksheet, is it? I was gonna ask you what we should do first, but I see the formula is not written there, so I will put it up here for you. At the top of your worksheet, it's negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. It's not a small formula. Once you memorize it, it's not bad, but it's not a small formula. So I would write that somewhere in your worksheet because you're gonna need it. Now, the second thing you're gonna need to do is have another sheet of paper. Because there's almost no room to write on this worksheet, which seems to be odd for a worksheet. They're usually intended to write directly on them. But the quadratic formula takes up a decent amount of space. Okay, so Cohen, what I was gonna ask you is, what's the first thing we do? Put your headphones away. Why would you even have them in? Phone's up here. If we're gonna be controlling it from the earpiece, then we're gonna have trouble. What's the first thing we have to do when we're doing the quadratic formula?
A, B, and C.
Perfect. Okay, do you wanna answer those? You want somebody else to answer those?
A is 1, B is 5, and C is 4.
Excellent. Now, if you look through this worksheet, none of these problems need to be rearranged. Like, in our packet, we had a few of them that weren't equal to 0. But all 10 of these are already equal to 0, so A, B, and C should be very quick to find. Okay, good. Go and pick somebody from over here. Moa. How do I start? So the first part of the formula is negative b. So you remember from yesterday how we find that? First part of the formula is negative b. How do we figure that out again? The opposite of b. So the negative symbol means the opposite. So negative 5. Okay, so negative 5 plus or minus is that little symbol that goes next. Hayden. What about the square root part? What do we do with that? That was from Monday. Okay, so we're going to put a 5 in parentheses, squared, and what you're saying is perfect, though. Minus 4, 1, perfect. So it's minus 4ac. If you guys remember from Monday, putting everything in parentheses will help quite a bit. Your calculators appreciate that. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. Who are the people that had the blue and white calculator? Mr. Caponigri told me something extremely helpful. So on this blue and white calculator, I had you guys change the mode to like classic because it kept giving me like a square root answer. Apparently you don't need to do that. So if you get a square root answer, like square root of 5, it'll just tell you square root of 5. If you want the decimal answer, apparently the button above enter is how you change back and forth between decimal and non-decimal on this calculator. And I did not know that at all. Usually the calculators have a little button that says fraction to decimal or something like that. This calculator, that little double arrow, is how you switch back and forth between decimal and not. So you don't need to change modes at all. I was pretty excited to learn that for you guys. But perfect, thank you. So, and it's gonna be over 2a, so 2 times 1. The first thing you should do is calculate the square root. That was why I had to start with that on Monday. So with whatever calculator you're using, do the square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. I want to say the answer is 3. Did somebody already do it? Perfect. So hopefully you type it in and to get 3. No, put those away, please. We're not gonna have those out there for that.
I'm just.
Okay. So once you get 3 as an answer for the square root, then we're gonna do what we did yesterday. We'd write -5 plus or minus 3 all over 2. So when you're doing the quadratic formula, just from past experience, you want to take care of the square root first so that it's not there later. Now, I noticed students doing these differently throughout the day yesterday. It seemed like some students like typing this directly in the calculator. No, can we not? Let's just do the problem with it on this worksheet, okay? On the calculator, you're gonna do excuse me. I think Desmos, you have to hit the fraction button first. Okay, hit the fraction button. On the top of the fraction, do -5 plus 3 divided by 2. And then it should tell you the answer is -1. Then once you've found that answer, you're gonna type in -5 minus 3. Like that's how we have to handle the plus or minus, is you have to type them in separately. And then this one should tell you it's -4. Now, on this problem, I kinda wanted us to do it together for you guys to practice to see if you were gonna get all of it on the calculator yourself. Yeah.
I kind of did mine different, but I still got the same answer.
Differently as in, like, you can do the square root first or something?
Just the way
I'll come and look in a minute. Because if you're doing it correct, that's fine. But otherwise, maybe you got it right on accident sometimes, so that's what I'll check for. Did you get both answers correct? So then you probably, it's very difficult to get both correct on accident. So my guess is whatever you're doing is good. Okay. If you are following the thing with the letters, then you would find -1, -4 over here. I didn't even read the directions on it. Look for the letter of the correct answer in the string of letters near the bottom of the page and cross it out each time it appears. When you finish, write the remaining letters in the space provided. So what? Oh, down here, cross out D. I feel like this has to take somebody a lot of time to come up with different ways to do puzzles each time. So if you want to do that, you are certainly welcome to. But when I grade this, I am not going to be looking for, I need you to stop pulling up the book. Okay? No, leave it alone.
I'll take fine if you just have a look at this.
Absolutely. If you guys come show me your assignment, just show me the worksheet and your sheet of work. If you're turning it in with a photo, just take a photo of both things. Now, do you want me to do a second problem with you? I was guessing, but I don't know. How well does this feel like it's going?
Do the second one, please.
Okay. Did you write down the first one?
Well, form to be a pencil.
Oh, my pencil cup is empty. I was gonna say, keep them up here for you. I should say, is there anybody else that wants me to do a second one? Because I will happily do it, I just didn't know if you wanted me to. Okay, will do. Okay, let's do number 3, just for space for me. Whoop. First thing, figure out ABC. And on On this worksheet, that should be pretty easy, just because they're all written in order, they're all equal to 0. So it's gonna be 1, 3, negative 10. And then we're gonna write out the formula with the numbers in. So opposite of B would be negative 3. Then we put that plus and minus symbol. The square root is generally all of the info. B squared would be positive 3 in parentheses squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 10. Divided by 2 times the A. Ekram, do you like to just type the whole thing in, like the whole top or something? That absolutely works. Okay, one thing I did not mention, if you guys want to do the quadratic formula directly from the first step, you can. Basically, if you're good at using your calculator, you can hit the fraction button, type in the whole top with just the plus, and then hit enter to get the answer. Then you can retype it in with a minus the second time. So if you don't like finding the answer to the square root first, you don't have to do this in steps. It's just that some people aren't great at using the calculator, and so I usually try to teach it not like that. So this square root is gonna be 9 plus 40, so square root of 49 should be 7. So negative 3 plus and minus 7 over 2 times 1, which is 2. And then if you get good enough at it, you absolutely can kind of start doing the adding and subtracting in your head. So negative 3 plus 7 would be 4. And then negative 3 minus 7, negative 10. However you want to get to the answers, I'm good with it. So we have 2 and negative 5. I mean, for the most part, all of the work is putting the numbers in the correct spots and then figuring out the correct numbers. Once you get that step down, it usually goes pretty quick. Now, it's an R&R day today, so we're not here, for the full class. So we're here till 9:15, so we have about 20 minutes left. I think for some people, that 20 minutes will easily be enough time to finish the worksheet. For others, it might not. So I do have this in Schoology, so if you do get it done today, I will happily put it in the computer for you. If you don't get it done today, you have R&R today. You can bring it home if you want, and we may have a little bit of time tomorrow. I updated the calendar for you guys.
I'll learn.
And so quadratic formula, we're sort of done with it today. Like, this is all the more there is to quadratic formula. We're gonna start reviewing for the test tomorrow. And then I'm thinking we would review tomorrow and Monday. Like, tomorrow would be for you to figure out all the answers on the practice test. And then Monday would be for us to go over the answers and to do questions and you'd help on it. And then Tuesday would be the test. I really didn't feel like, I knew tomorrow would be way too soon. And I know most people really hate tests on Mondays. And I get that, especially because we're first hour, like coming here after the weekend, it takes a little bit for your brain to come back. So I felt like Tuesday was better. That's our plan. So I'll happily help anybody who wants some help today. Try to get as much done as you can. And if you get done, you can turn it in if you want.